All right. Let's get this show on the road. Hello, everybody. It's the last show of the year. Happy New Year's Eve. This is Torn Tuesday, your weekly dose of all
Mhm.
things Lord of the Rings. And there's Clifford Broadway.
And my goodness, it is the end of the year. It is probably New Year's Eve properly in New Zealand. All of our Kiwi friends who are down there working on the hunt for Gollum, way down there on the other side of the international date line, they're getting
Way
ready
down
to.
yonder on the Chattahoochee.
They're getting ready to do their wonderful fireworks this evening. And hello, everyone. I just got back from doing a wonderful wedding. A beautiful, beautiful bride and groom called me late last night and they said, "We want to elope at the end of the year and have a very special year end ceremony." And I just came back home. I'm still in my wedding outfit from doing the ceremony. It was lovely. And you know what? There's Justin sitting right over there. You have all come to the right place. This is the OneRing.net. And yes, it is our weekly live stream show, Torn Tuesday. So wonderful, wonderful, really, to have all you folks here coming in from the Discord server, from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Everyone's here with us. Wonderful live chat. We're going to wrap up the year, folks. It's time to wrap up 2025 and get some perspective, as we like to say around here. Get some perspective on all the things that have happened in the world of The Rings of Power and The Hunt for Gollum and Tolkien publications, books, news, games, and, corporate mergers. All kinds of things happened this year. It's
All
been quite
kinds of
a
things, and
wave.
it's still
Quite.
active. But I want to say shout outs. Let's start at
Yes.
the end of the year. Shout out to Middle Earth Enterprises for
Oh, isn't that
sending these
lovely?
wonderful little Bilbo figures to some of us. Amazon, I'm sure you still have my address. I'd love to see some Rings of Power merch. But here, I just
Hmm.
love this animated Rankin and Bass Bilbo. I think this is based on the sculpt that is going to be the Dark Horse Comics vinyl figures. So this was a
Oh, how
wonderful
cool.
gift. It says San Diego Comic Con 2025 down at the bottom. So just a wonderful gift. Thank you to the folks at Middle Earth. But Cliff, there's been so much news. We don't want to keep everybody because some of you watching are in Australia, New Zealand. It's 13 hours to midnight, so we don't want to keep. But this
Indeed.
is not going to be a long show unless it has to be because there's been a
Doesn't have
ton
to be.
of news from
Oh,
Lord of the
yes. Let's
Rings
cover the
fans.
news as well
So,
as we review some of the bigger hits of the year
well, Cliff,
2025.
get us started.
Yes.
How did we start off the year?
Um, Gosh, in a panic mode, I guess. How
We started off with
did we
War
start
of the
off the year?
Rohirrim.
It was there for a couple of weeks in theaters, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah,
it
at
was
least.
it was in theaters in December, but by January it was already on home video. So
Oh, well, I saw it still playing at the local AMC theater, and I went to go see it again with some friends. They loved it.
in December, but we're talking January 2025, beginning of this year. War of the Rohirrim was already on digital and streaming platforms
Hmm.
in January. And Cliff, it's been playing on HBO a lot this month, as is
Hmm.
all the Lord of the Rings films on all of our TVs. Um, what do you think? What did you think of War of the Rohirrim? I mean, the soundtrack sounded good. It might have been a little long for an animated film.
Honestly, I have very little to complain about, and I'm shocked, continually shocked when I look at the LOTR subreddit, and boy, people love to bash on the War of the Rohirrim, and I really don't know why. And I honestly don't accept that. It's not a horrible film that needs to be bashed and dragged through the mud. It's a jolly good film. It's a jolly good film that only suffers from the animation technique of animating on the twos or the threes. I see a lot of other Japanese anime which has much more lush and very liquid, frame by frame animation, which is called animating on the ones, and it's much more fluid. I've seen a lot of big anime TV shows make the jump to a theatrical release, and in those theatrical releases, they really go for it. They really do animate on the ones, and it looks like it's so
You know,
fluid.
I
And that's the only complaint I have about War of the Rohirrim is it's sticky. It looks like Castlevania kind of thing where they were
Yeah,
taking the cheaper approach to
I
producing
would have
it.
been okay if they had used AI to do in between animation. Like you said,
I
it's
would not
animated
have
on the
been.
twos and threes, but if they had used AI for budget reasons to smooth out the animation, I don't know, I might have had a better time with it.
I had a lovely time with it. It's just a small technical complaint because when you have that instinct to sit down and watch lots of anime, you kind of get used to it. You get used to it when you see animation that is not moving and it's made on a television budget. It's made much more cheaply. They don't have a fluidity in the work. You get used to it. So it's just a small complaint. What I really loved the most about War of the Rohirrim was the storytelling ethos that nobody gets out alive. In that movie, there was tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, and that seriousness about the storytelling worked in its favor, and I was all in. I was all in on that story. I really enjoyed it.
And we hope you enjoyed your final Miyazaki minute of the year.
That might have been it, but hey, you when you watch Miyazaki films, a lot of moments in Studio Ghibli films, uh, they actually do animate on the ones sometimes, and sometimes they don't. So you never know. It comes and goes.
And
You
Jura in
get
the
used to
chat
it.
room says it was my first anime. So there you go.
Wild. There you go. Your
There
very
you
first
go.
anime.
So War of
How
the Rohirrim,
cool.
yeah, the biggest takeaway for me for War of the Rohirrim was the amazing score by Stephen Gallagher, and it showed to
Oh, it
me
was wonderful.
personally, and hopefully to a lot of you fans, that the spirit of Howard Shore's excellence can still be achieved
hmm
even if Shore is not directly involved.
Yes, indeed. Stephen Gallagher is a delightful, delightful, talented human being, and he deserves praise for what he created for the movie. It was really
Well,
great
that
stuff.
that kicked off in January. We're gonna jump around all the year because I basically went to our posts and socials and our YouTube history to see
Mhm.
what were the most popular stories and most popular shows of this last year. So we're gonna start at the top, Cliff. Do you want to know what our most watched, most popular episode of Torn Tuesday
Of the
was?
year, let me check on that because I think I know. I think I know before
Do
you
you
tell me the answer.
take a guess?
Well, I want to get to the comment from Jean in the chat. And she says the issue is that they're not into anime, is that those that are really not into anime are against it, or they're just not ready for Middle Earth to be an anime.
Drago in the
And
chat room thinks he knows what's a popular one. So,
I
chat room,
do,
tell me,
but
what do you think the most popular Torn Tuesday scoop was this
before
year?
we get to that, my dear friend, I want to answer this person in the chat. It should be remembered, my dear friends, everyone should remember that it's not at all the first time that The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit has been an anime. That happened back in 1977 when all the Japanese animators working for Rankin and Bass made The Hobbit. That was the first anime version, and even The Return of the King, also done by Rankin and Bass. I'm sorry, just want to, correct the record, like
Fair
that.
enough.
But
Well,
our best show may have been our interview with Greg, the cinematographer, Greg
oh,
Fraser.
Greg Frazier,
Was that our best one?
that is my one of my personal favorites. But no,
It's one of my personal favorites.
the the
Yes.
the most engagement and the most views that we got on Torn Tuesday this year was the scoop that we had reported early on and then confirmed by the actor herself. That's right. The return of Tario, potentially in the hunt for Gollum. That
Oh
has
gosh.
excited
Yeah.
fans in major ways, and the implications for the
Yes.
storytelling opportunities for the hunt for Gollum just our minds went in whole new directions
Yeah.
when it was talked about Evangeline Lilly coming back for the hunt for Gollum. Now, to remind you guys, here's the scoop. And again, Green Dragon gossip until it's actually on screen. But our
True.
our little birdies have said that Evangeline Lilly has been in New Zealand talking with the filmmakers, director Andy Serkis of Hunt for Gollum,
Oh,
and the writers
fabulous.
Philippa Boyens, Fran Walsh, Phoebe Gittins, Artie Papagiorgio. The
Yes.
writers, and especially Philippa and Fran, want to give Evangeline the last word on that character.
That is a nice
Everyone loves it.
exchange. After the way they treated her during the Hobbit trilogy, I think that's fair. That
When
is,
you say they,
it's,
we mean the studio.
I mean the studio. Yes, I mean the studio. But it also seems like a compensation, a nice compensatory move for her, don't you think?
Vic Sand
I
says that's
approve.
actually cool because I want to see her redeemed. And yes,
Yep.
that's exactly the
Yep.
sentiment. It's the sentiment from the writers. And Evangeline Lilly has told me face to face that she was very disappointed in the forced reshoots for the third Hobbit movie. She never signed
Hmm.
up for a love triangle with Legolas ever. And she was disappointed that the third Hobbit movie kind of ruined the character that she had signed up for and the one that she wanted women to get behind all from all over
That
the
major
world.
love story started in the second film, The Desolation of Smaug, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but it was she didn't sign up for what was on the final screen. So
Hmm. Hmm.
she loves character. Evangeline loves the character Tauriel. She has a vision for the character that she wants to put in the film record, and it sounds like the writers are on board to help rewrite the script, and
No, good.
give Tario, give Evangeline the final say on the character Tario. Cliff, what do
Oh,
you think
that's a great idea.
the final fate of Tario should be in the hunt for Gollum?
Um, I don't know really what it should be, but I could guess what it's going to be. What if they give her a big, big Boromir style tragic death scene? What if they do that? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't necessarily think the character deserves that kind of a quote unquote treatment, but I wouldn't be surprised if they, really crank up the tragedy levels in the story.
I don't want no, I don't want that. I want her
Yeah.
to lead the battalions in a whole different area of the
Mm,
War of Sauron. Okay,
okay.
because I want it to be set up that Legolas abandons his kin searching for Aragorn and then hunting
Hmm.
for Gollum and then going to the Council of Elrond and then joining the 13 companion like everything about Legolas is like I'm not helping guys, I'm gonna do my own thing. I want Tauriel to be the commander of the elven armies as much as Galadriel is the commander of the northern armies. So I don't want that heroic death that you were describing. I want
Yeah.
her to be a badass
Okay.
on the battlefield
Okay.
in a
That sounds
big way.
cool.
All right,
But
so that
how about we get both of those things? Maybe she can be badass on the battlefield and strive and achieve amazing heroic battle things. But in battle, yes, big, big, wonderful action sequences. But it could also end up with a tragic end. Who knows?
Eravani, you're absolutely correct. Women dying to give men motivation is done so often, it's a trope and it's problematic.
Mm,
Exactly. And
hmm.
I
Hmm.
know
I agree.
from
I agree
speaking
with
with
that.
Evangeline many, many times, face to face over many, many years. She is not that type of person. She's well aware of the tropes. And
Okay, well then let her live. Let Tauria live and let my weird prediction be nothing but that. Absolutely.
that's right. So yeah, it's one of the most exciting parts on Hunt for Gollum. Um
Mm.
the whole year. Speaking of Hunt for Gollum, things changed big time for Aragorn, who is
Sure did. I would
expected
have
to
thought,
be probably the main character
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Hunt for Gollum. Cliff, because
And
why
Vigo
would
Morton,
Aragorn be the main character?
because it involves him hunting for Gollum, as well as Gandalf, too. But who catches him? Who has to keep him captive for a long, long, long time? Poor Strider.
The
Hmm.
Nazgul. The Nazgul capture him, and they extract two words out of
After,
Gollum.
well, no. I'm talking about Strider capturing Gollum and taking him to Thranduil. That's what I'm
What?
talking about.
Does that happen?
Of course, you need to read your appendices, boy.
I'm waiting for the movie at this point.
You
So
know, you need to
early
read
this
your
year, we're
appendices.
looking at this. Early this year, I think this is back in January. Actor Viggo Mortensen, in an interview, talks about his return as Aragorn, and quote, Viggo says, "If I came back, I would like to feel that I am reading a story by Tolkien in terms of the shape and emotion it conveys, but more importantly, the way it reads, in which it seems connected and consistent with what Professor Tolkien wrote." He continues, "I think Peter, Fran, and Philippa, and whoever is behind this work, will make sure I feel this way. Form and emotion in everything they did were respectful to Tolkien's narrative. This will be the first and foremost important thing."
Hmm.
So, vibes. He was like, this has to feel like Tolkien. That has changed. We are now at the end of the year. And as we reported just a couple weeks ago, Cliff, they are looking to recast Aragorn as we
Hmm.
speak. Andy Serkis is currently in New Zealand doing auditions for
Hmm.
the new, younger, probably, Aragorn actor who will take up the mantle for the hunt for Gollum.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I think Vigo could pull off. I think he looks great for his age. I think you put a nice brown wig on him and good makeup. I think Vigo could still pass for the 80-year-old Aragorn.
He
Uh,
sure could.
but if
Sure.
he has declined the offer, and they are, and our rumors are, they are recasting Aragorn. Um, that's where it
Wow.
currently stands, and so that's huge news for the movie. And
Boy,
fans are
did my
fifty
phone blow up.
fifty.
No, a lot of my phone blowing up told me that a lot of people were upset. How can they make this movie without Vigo? Was what I heard from all of my close, I mean, really close Lord of the Rings friends. And I think that sentiment might be wound up in our feelings of nostalgia. It might be wound up in the fact that Ian McKellen can come back, so therefore, why can't everybody else come back who's still, alive and kicking and ready to get back in front of the camera? Have we heard anything in all of our journeys about why exactly Vigo decided to not do the role again? Have we
Not
heard anything
yet,
specific?
but Cliff, as
Hmm.
you and I speculated a couple weeks
I'm
ago,
curious.
this
Yeah.
offers the opportunity to do something tremendous
Hmm.
for Tolkien, for the franchise, and just for filmmaking in general. Riz Ahmed is
Hmm.
an excellent choice to
Quite an
take
excellent
up
choice.
the
Yes.
mantle as Aragorn. He has the chops. He looks more like Aragorn as Tolkien described Aragorn,
He looks
especially
like a
during his
ranger
Strider
caught off
days.
his guard.
He looks like more like a ranger. Um, and Cliff, I think both of us are on board with the
Yes.
concept of, don't get someone that looks like Vigo. It's let's go more closer to Tolkien and his vision
Sure.
for the Strider character. Riz
Anonymous girl
Ahmed,
in the chat. Anonymous girl in the chat says, "Wait, are they moving forward without the character or just without the actor?" And no, absolutely Vigo is not going to do it, but the character of Aragorn is absolutely tied up hook, line and sinker
he's a
throughout the hunt
main
for
character.
Gollum.
He's a main
He's
character in the
the main
movie.
character is Smeagol Gollum, but yeah, the next main character is probably a tie between Aragorn and Gandalf. Your top three performers are Gollum, Gandalf, and Aragorn. They're your top three in this
and
story.
and we know Ian
Absolutely.
McKellen's coming back, and that so
Yeah,
we
yeah. So
like
it
we
yeah.
like Riz Ahmed for Aragorn. We also like Dev Patel, star of The Green Knight, Tolkien's favorite book of all time. Uh, we do like Dev Patel. We do like Raul Coley. He's been on many movies and shows with Mike Flanagan. Um, incredible actor, and can really, I think, get the right accent down. And just a reminder, this is how Ralph Bakshi drew Aragorn,
Hmm.
more closely to how Tolkien describes him, a swarthy, dark fellow.
Well,
Brago
the
in the chat room says they need to recast Legolas too. I think that's correct. I think if you're going to recast Aragorn, you have to recast Legolas. I love Orlando. I do believe in the power of machine learning, AI, and the magic of Weta Digital to de-age Orlando even better than they did in The Hobbit. But if you're gonna change it up with Aragorn, you might as well change it up with everybody.
okay, and I agree. Um, I agree that I think the mystery should be explored as to the real reasons why Vigo said he couldn't do it. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to speculate. Maybe he's got his own
I'm
projects and he
not.
finally
I'm
got
not.
funding, you know. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm not gonna
we
speculate, but boy, oh boy, I would love to see one of these actors that we've mentioned come in and be the younger Strider. Yeah,
man,
Riz Ahmed. Yeah,
wouldn't this be just a perfect Strider?
you know what? I hate to say this, maybe I don't, but he could have my dinner money any day. Riz Ahmed could have
This
my
man
dinner
right
money
here
any
can
day
push
of the week.
open the doors
Yeah,
in slow
he could push
motion
open the doors.
and get the same reaction from all of us.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. He's awesome. He's totally awesome.
But last one, I
People in the
agree.
chat,
Lee
people in the chat are
Pace,
saying they don't want to see Orlando Bloom come back. All right, no, wait a minute.
but Lee
Is that up
Pace
for
needs to come
conversation?
back. We just talked
Lee
about that, but
Pace?
Lee
Oh,
Pace
definitely
should
Lee
come
Pace
back.
has to.
He's
Oh,
incredible in
100%.
Foundation. He was
100%.
recently in The Running Man,
Which was
um,
fun.
which was
Yes.
fun. Lee Pace
Yep.
knows how to have fun, and he loves that working on The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder. The what was that? So so about Orlando. What if Orlando was recast? No, I'm just this is the rumor area. It is not the news. I'm not saying this is happening, but most of us expect Orlando Bloom to come back. Would it now if we're going to recast Vigo, should we also recast Orlando?
Yeah, we
I
just
don't
talked
know.
about that. But here's a
I
video.
wonder.
Here's a recent video as Lee Pace was promoting The Running Man recently. Here's
Oh
what he
yes.
had to say.
Yeah, show me that.
I've never been so excited to be a part of a film in my life. I watched the behind the scenes, the interviews. I remember when I got cast in The Hobbit, right before I met Pete, Fran, and Philippa for the first time, I watched the box set, extended edition, everything in it for like 3 days before the meeting.
Guys, this is a done deal. Like, he's a genuine fan. Like, Lee Pace needs to come back
Yeah,
for
that's
The Hunt for
so
Gollum.
awesome. That is
So
entirely awesome. He is the real dyed in the wool kind of Tolkien fan that you want to have cast as your Elven King. And he's so fabulous. Lee Pace can do no wrong. He's just amazing.
So we
Really
know
amazing.
Orlando wants to be in the movie, but I think because they're recasting Aragorn, it makes sense to recast Legolas. Love you, Orlando, but
We love
it's
Orly.
time. But let's keep
Orly
Lee
is
Pace
wonderful.
because he's incredible. So that's just
Oh God.
that was just one of the many things with Hunt for Gollum. There was another recasting that's happening.
Oh, that too.
Elrond
Elrond.
star
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving is out. He's out. Uh, he says, quote, personally, I've had enough of that. It was great being in New Zealand on and off for over 10 years. I did then go back and work with the same team on Mortal Engines, which was going to be their next big franchise, but it died. So I've had enough of Middle Earth, and I don't imagine anyone will ask me to do it again. So, folks, there you have it. They have to recast Elrond. They are recasting Aragorn. It only makes sense to now recast Legolas, but keep Thranduil and keep Evangeline Lilly. Don't you think, Cliff?
I do agree. Um, let's bring it back to the young man who we speculated was cast as Elrond, and it ended up being
Oh,
Robert
Will
Arameo.
Poulter?
Yeah, Will Poulter. Is it time for the casting people to call Will Poulter?
Will Poulter. Guys,
Should
I wouldn't
should
mind
the
Will
casting
Poulter.
agency be on the phone saying, "Will, it's time. It's time for you to come and be Elrond now."
Yeah, Will
Yep,
Poulter is a good and he's aged up a bit in the last 5
he
years
sure
since
has.
they were doing Rings of Power. Will Poulter would be an incredible Elrond. And Cliff, wouldn't that be
Here's the
amazing if Will Poulter backed out of Rings of Power only to be brought back in the movie version Elrond?
Yep. That would be perfect, though. I I just love his eyebrows, though. I love Will Poulter's eyebrows. They're just so crazy. So crazy.
Yeah, he would be a great replacement for Elrond. Um,
Yep,
Judah
he
in the
would be.
chat says, why not just call up Arameo, put a long black wig on Arameo, who's in Rings of Power, and finally merge the two franchises? I'm not
Hey,
opposed to that.
hey, okay.
I am
Okay.
not opposed to that, and
I don't
it would take a
I don't
lot
think
of.
Amazon would allow him to go and work on a Warner
Yeah, see,
Brothers New
that's
Line
the
Cinema
thing. I
thing.
don't know.
I
New
don't think
Line
they'd let
Cinema
that
and
happen.
Amazon kind of are partners on Rings of Power. So, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
tough
it's
one.
not a bad idea. I like the way
But
you
that just
think,
goes to
Judah.
show
I like that idea.
the fans are split either way. Go with Will Poulter, who looks kind of like Hugo Weaving with the eyebrows, or go with Robert Arameo
Well,
and bring him up to the silver screen.
it's another serious question of how much would Elrond, the Lord of Imladris, have to do in such a movie as The Hunt for Gollum? What would he have to do? I don't even know. Oh, I don't even know. So we'll have to think
So
about
I
that
don't
for a
know.
minute.
I don't think there's any legal issues. I just think it would just require the studios to become friends in a deeper way than they are now. But Cliff,
Yeah,
speaking of Rings of
yeah.
Power, that was our third most popular, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. In fact, the rest of the top 10 most popular posts and shows were all about the leaks from the Rings of Power. And look at this, Khalil has come through. He was on our Discord all summer long, and he started posting on Twitter all of his all these leaks for Rings of Power, including these photos from the outdoor sets of Rings of Power. So Rings of Power is holding its own when it comes to popularity uh, with the Peter Jackson movies as well. So we got incredible scoops, and luckily for us today, someone on Reddit uh, compiled all the scoops into one wonderful post today or this week, yesterday. So this year's leaks about season 3 of Rings of Power, which just wrapped filming. A casting call went out for a sea captain. Sauron will be portrayed as significantly more violent than season 2. The time jump won't be so drastic, and as we've now heard, it's probably only 6 years to age up. It's basically the time jump is to age up Durin's kids, so they're teenagers.
That's less time than I thought it would be.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
not a big
Okay.
time jump when we're talking about the lives of elves and men.
Not
That's
at all.
that's not a
And for
time jump.
the elves live for thousands and thousands of years. So
Yeah, and unfortunately, they have not explored the difference in lifetimes between men and elves in this show yet, which I think would have been a really interesting thing to do.
agreed.
Um,
Agreed.
Another leak this year, season 3 will feature a new faction of elves, including a book character expected to please fans.
Uh-oh, another book character expected to please fans. That means Jamie Campbell Bower being Celeborn. That's what that means.
Jamie Campbell Bower right now is out promoting the final season of Stranger Things, which the final episodes drop
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, final episode dropping tomorrow. Boy, what a ride that show has been.
And check this out. Over this weekend, our friends at the Hollywood Show, their production crew produced this
Oh, yeah.
Stranger Things drone show in Vegas with Jamie Campbell Bower.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We are so grateful. We love you so much. This is it, guys. You know, the finale. But before that happens, we got one final thing for you. If you'd like to divert your eyes to the sky, check this shit out.
Oh, wow.
So huge drone show hosted by Jamie Campbell Bower. They really are putting him out as the star of this final season. With the love this. Love this. I guess there were 5,000 drones to do this,
how
right?
Cool.
Telling you this, Vecna's not done yet.
Oh my goodness,
Jamie
gravy.
Campbell Bower saying
How about
Vecna's
that?
not done yet. So he is the biggest cast addition to season 3 of Rings of Power. There's been no confirmation who he's playing yet, but all the rumors so far have Jamie Campbell Bower playing Glorfindel. Some of the other leaks from this year, some elves will have longer hair. The elves will send a plea to Numenor for aid in their war
Yep, we
against
covered
Sauron. Círdan, the shipwright, becomes a major character.
Oh, good. I love Círdan. He's wonderful.
The Dark Wizard, played by Kieran Hines, will have a more prominent role in season 3.
Will he be named? That's the only important thing, is identifying this character.
Yeah, enough
hate
with the
mystery
nameless
boxing.
things, okay?
Enough with that.
with
Yeah,
the
that's
name. Yeah, we're done.
so
We
sick of
should
that.
be done. Stupid.
Yeah,
In fact,
we should
don't
be. It's
even wait
awful.
until the show comes out. That first Vanity Fair first look
Yeah.
article, I want to
Let us
see
know.
names.
Yes, name that character. Tell us exactly who that character is.
Another big scoop from this year, Robert Arameo plays Elros, the bearded, in a flashback scene.
Yep.
There will be
Indeed.
the main battles this season happen in Numenor between Kingsmen and the Faithful this season. That's a rumor.
Oh. So that rumor tells us that we're heading towards an ultimate level of civil war and civil strife in Numenor. That's really something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some more leaks from Khalil over this year. Charlie Vickers still plays Sauron, and he has long dark hair and has his full Dark Lord armor. One of the Nazgul is going to be in this season. And Cliff, you and I have debated this for a while now, the merits of introducing the Nazgul already.
I want to learn more about what their lives were like before they became Nazgul. What a great opportunity that would have been for the showrunners to, to explore some of these parts of Middle Earth that Tolkien did not entirely, bring out with full narrative. It could be really interesting. I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder how they're going to handle the distribution of the 9 rings to mortal men. I do wonder.
And we do have another leak from Rings of Power. Drew says that Anarion has been casted. He will be in season 3. Cliff, who is Anarion?
Oh, cool. What? Who is Anarion? That would be Isildur's missing brother. How about the fact that Elendil has another son and we haven't seen him yet? Anarion, Elendil's other son.
Does he play a big role in anything, or is he just the other son?
Well, no, they both found the kingdom of Gondor and Arnor. They're the founders of the kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor after the end of the last alliance. Yeah, they or it's a huge part of history, the Northern Kingdom that was the sister kingdom to Gondor in the south. So, yeah. Anarion should definitely be in the show. I would have thought he would have been in the show by now. Honestly, it's third season now, so here he is.
And they are ending the year on a brand new scoop as of 2 days ago. New scoop. We are hearing of a particular action scene for Galadriel in season 3. There's a battle scene in the forest and a dark armored figure on a
Oh
horse.
my.
Galadriel makes chase on horseback, and there's a long epic charge between the two. So Galadriel chases a guy through the forest again.
Really?
She did it
Hello?
in season 1, chasing Adar through the forest. She did it in season 2, chasing Elrond through the forest, and she ended up kissing that guy. And she's going to do it again in season 3, chasing a dark lord or dark figure through the forest.
Hello, welcome to our lively little chat show. It's Tea with Tolkien here in our YouTube chat. It's so lovely to see you.
Hey, if
Hi
we're doing
there.
if we're doing a year in review, Cliff, then we have to mention that Tea with Tolkien announced that she is going to be a published author. If you go
Oh,
to
that's exciting.
teawithtolkien.com, you can pre-order her book that's coming out early next year. And you guys should do that. teawithtolkien.com.
And also our other friend, Don Marshall. Don Marshall, also a published Tolkien author this year. Look him up as well. He'll let you pre-order his adorable little book as well. How about that? Now, did you know, Justin, that the two big statues that we all know are called the Argonath? Do you remember the way they were portrayed in the movie, The Fellowship of the Ring?
Sure.
Well, they changed it. In the movie, they showed father and son. They showed Elendil, and next to it, they showed Isildur. But that's not the way it was. In the book, it was the two brothers. It was Anarion and Isildur, who were the statues of the Argonath. So now you know. Big, big, big change. Big change. Oh, here he is looking it up like he doesn't believe me. Are you looking it up like you don't believe me?
So talk to me. So these statues, this is a screenshot from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is long?
See the bearded king on the right, who is Elendil. That's what they changed. In the book, it's actually Isildur's brother, Anarion. You see, both of them, the two princes, they ran the southern kingdom of Gondor, and their father, Elendil, he lived in Arnor, in the northern kingdom, and made a different capital city in Anuminos.
Let me ask you
So,
this,
yeah.
Cliff. Should the Argonath make an appearance in the Rings of Power TV series?
No, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. I mean, look, we thought that we were going to get the Door of Durin, the bloody West Gate of Moria, and all we got to see was it sitting on a table. We never saw it installed in Khazad-dûm. We never saw the West Gate installed. We didn't see even,
It was in
you know,
Eregion. Why in the world is the
We only
gates
saw it
of
sitting on a
Moria
table.
in Eregion?
evidently that's where Narvi. Well, we got introduced to the character Narvi. He was mentioned on the inscription on the door, but we never ever got to see footage of the elven smith Celebrimbor working with his dwarven friend. We never saw them working together. So I think they
What's
missed
the point
that
of the
it was-
show if you're not going to show the stuff that needs to be shown? Seriously,
Yippers.
guys.
Big missed opportunity there. So you're now asking me, should we see some other major thing built? And I'm like, I don't know if they're even going to bother because they didn't show us the building of the West Gate of Moria. So, you know. Anyway, yes. So we did go through all of these rumors. Yes. Quite a year of the Rings of Power rumors. Quite a lot of information. Let's see how much we get close to correct. How close to the bullseye on the target we are when it ultimately comes out.
That's right. And some of our most popular posts and shows this year were about other projects that our favorite Lord of the Rings actors are up to, including we had on the director of Warlord, a fun little indie film that was made for under $1 million.
That was a
which
very fun indie movie. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Oh, look,
featuring
there's
Ryan
Alfred.
Gage
Did you
from
see him?
The
That's
Hobbit.
Ryan Gage. That's
That's
Alfred.
right.
He looks completely different.
And who plays the warlord, Cliff?
Oh, guess who plays the evil warlord in this movie? It is none other than Billy Boyd. Our
Pippin?
very own, yep, our very own Pippin. Yes.
So Pippin is in that. Jennifer English is in this movie. She just won the award for Best Voice Actress for Expedition 33, and we'll get to that in a second. But Cliff, you've made movies. You work in the biz. Like, how hard is it to make a movie on the cheap, under $1 million?
It's really, really hard to make a micro-budget indie film. Dun, da, da, looking behind me at Ringers, Lord of the Fans. It's really hard to get a micro-budget movie made, but if you are careful and really deliberate with your production, and you have a lot of good people helping, then you can do it. You
Well,
can do it.
Warlord is available on many streaming platforms. We love to support independent film. I don't know if it's available for free streaming. You might have to buy or rent it on Amazon or iTunes or something like that. But do support independent film. You know, here's
Yes, do.
here's a movie. Look, if you go in knowing that it's an independent film, self-financed, and these actors are just honing their craft, right? They're not here for a payday. And the fact that there's a big fantasy film with all those castle sets and wonderful costumes and stuff like that is incredible, Cliff.
Mhm.
So Billy Boyd
Yes.
in Warlord. Speaking of Jennifer English, who's in that movie, our boy Andy
Oh,
Serkis, who is
yes.
directing The Hunt for Gollum, is in the Game of the Year. That's right. Andy Serkis is the voice of one of the main characters in Expedition 33, the game
Wow,
that
how about
everybody's
that?
been talking about. I've put over 100 hours into that game this year. It's incredible. Jennifer English there won
How
the
fun.
award for Best Voice Actor, and so Andy Serkis is and you can tell, us fans, you can tell immediately when Andy shows up. Like, his voice is
Yes.
so recognizable, you know. So the fact that Andy is involved in the Game of the Year this year, incredible form.
Isn't that cool?
Incredible form. And
Mm.
his next thing is not going to be Hunt for Gollum, folks. I don't think we spent time talking about this, but Andy's
Oh,
next
yes.
project is Animal Farm.
Animal Farm is about to be released. Yep.
Hi, Lucky.
What's up?
We are going on vacation.
I do hope it's somewhere good.
What does that say?
Laughter House!
That sounds awesome. I love to laugh.
It's a slaughterhouse.
Look at all this deliciousness. They want this.
Do you want to be food or do you want freedom? Then let's fight for it! We're free! Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy.
4 legs, good. 2 legs, bad.
No animal shall wear clothes.
Huh? What? We're show pigs.
And all animals are equal.
Animals running a farm? I had to see it for myself.
Thank you. Aw, so cute.
Activate cute eyes.
I'd rather gouge them out.
There it is, from director Andy Serkis.
That farm.
We should move into the farmhouse. So the humans know we're in charge.
You are about to become my new best friends. Pigs and humans working together. I like the optics.
Oh, we love the optics.
What are optics?
I think it's a kind of seafood.
It's a pretty good cast.
Wow.
You're wearing clothes!
Would you look at that? I am.
Everything's different, but we're still friends.
All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
home.
Squealer! I parked the car! Let's have no one do that again.
Animal Farm, a cautionary tales. In theaters.
There you go, Cliff. What do you think?
I don't feel good about this at all. Sorry.
Fred, this is Andy's current movie. He directed himself, and now he's jumping into Hunt for Gollum.
Well, this is something that we can blame on the marketing department, maybe. But as somebody just said, and you're quite correct, Dodgings 5077, in the chat, it has been said, this looks like an oddly comic take on a disturbing story. And if I'm not going to say any other way, but this is not a comedy children's film that's supposed to play like Despicable Me. It is not like that. That is not at all what George Orwell wrote, and it seems entirely wrong to me. The trailer makes it look like a happy-go-lucky, oh, let's make fart jokes. Oh, let's make jokes about my pig butt with Seth Rogen making all the butt jokes. But you know what? That is not at all what George Orwell wrote. So I'm really sitting back and I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to take a very uncomfortable wait and see approach to this Animal Farm.
I appreciate your pun. But Cliff, here's where we get nervous because
Vixen makes a great point.
Yeah,
I guess he
just
doesn't
said
want
that.
the watership. Oh yes, that's great. Yeah, I'm just reading it just now. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah.
But Cliff,
But wait, we should illustrate for the audience that The Watership Down was a British-made animated film.
I don't want to
adapting
talk
the-
about Watership Down. If you
Well,
know the
I'm
joke
going
or not,
to.
but
I'm going to. So
not your
Richard
Miyazaki
Adams.
minute.
Richard Adams' book is as dark and serious, and it's a cute little story about fluffy rabbits. It's not. It is not cute or fluffy, and it is not about cute little fluffy rabbits. Watership Down, the animated feature film, is a masterpiece of all the darkness that is underneath the story. It's all really there. So I really take your point very well, Vixen, Dark Fairy. I take your point. Indeed.
Cliff,
Indeed.
here's what makes me nervous because just a few minutes ago we talked about Viggo Mortensen's minimum standard for joining the Hunt for Gollum. He said,
Okay, let's.
right?
Yeah.
But like just a few minutes ago, we said Viggo Mortensen said the script of the Hunt for Gollum and any future Lord of the Rings movies must feel like it is from Tolkien's world
Connected.
and
connected to him. Yes.
not in the most profound thematic ways. We know what he's talking about. It has to feel like Lord of the Rings, not like The Hobbit, a comedy movie. Okay, so the fact that Vigo said he would come back, but under strict terms, that this is that the Hunt for Gollum script would be taken with the most care and precision, and he has declined, and now they're recasting Aragorn.
Oh
So,
dear.
and now you're telling me that Andy Serkis's current film is not adhering to the author's intent of
Well, look,
themes
that
and vibes?
that's what the trailer is giving us. The trailer may be completely, ham-fisted. If this trailer is so clumsy and ham-fisted that it's really not giving us the true vibe of the overall feature film, then watch out. But it's really leaning into, this is a Minions movie. We're going to have banana jokes and fart jokes. That's what the trailer makes it look like. And I got to set that one out.
Well,
because
so if this is,
I got to set that out.
If this is what Andy Serkis is doing to Orwell,
Oh no.
what do you think that implies
gosh.
for Hunt for Gollum?
We won't know until we get there. We'll have to wait, I suppose, until a few months from now.
Without passing judgment
to wait.
on nothing, what do you want? What do you want out of Hunt for Gollum? And I'm asking you, the chat room, what do you want out of Hunt for Gollum? Do you want a serious tone movie to bring us back into the world of Lord of the Rings where the stakes are high? Or do you want
Yes.
An adventure movie, a buddy adventure movie about Legolas and Aragorn on the hunt for Gollum. But so is these Nazgul over here, and so is these guys over there. And who will get the Gollum first? We don't know. It's a comedy. It's a buddy. It's an action movie. Is that what you want,
No.
or do you want a
No.
serious tone?
I don't want a buddy movie. I don't want a heist movie. I don't want Solo, a Star Wars story. You know what I want? Thank you. I want a real Lord of the Rings movie. And keep in mind that
What does that
Kenji
mean? We
Kamiyama.
got the Hobbit movies, and those were animated comedies.
Well,
kind
also
of.
look at how amazing Kenji Kamiyama was as director for War of the Rohirrim. Boy, did he strike the right tone. That was definitely the correct
It failed at the
tone.
box office, though, Cliff. No one
Doesn't
went
matter.
no one went and saw that.
Doesn't
movie.
matter. It was a wonderful tone. It was the tone of it that
Hobson
was so
in the chat room
successful.
says Hunt for Gollum needs to be as dark as Lord of the Rings. Do you think that's true?
Yes. Yes, because we're talking about a creature that gets captured by the Dark Lord and tortured, and then he gets let loose, and then all these people who are the good guys are trying to find him before the treacherous little snake, actually does some real damage and brings the Dark Lord right to Bilbo's front door, which almost deliriously came close to happening. So yeah, this needs to be a high stakes movie because the stakes are high at this point in the story. It is a question of how far will Sauron go to find Baggins, who took that ring, and how much trouble are the hobbits going to be in if Gollum actually gets out and leads Sauron right to the ring.
I agree with
stakes are
Rules
there, for
VHC in the chat room, which says, I know people hated the game Gollum game, but it actually hit the right tone. I agree. The Gollum game, the tone of the storytelling in that game is dark
Right.
and serious. The
I'll
play
agree with that,
mechanics were just not fun. The play mechanics made that game fail. But the tone of that game. So you're telling me in the chat room, and Cliff, you're telling me that the Hunt for Gollum movie needs to have a dark and serious tone?
Yes. And that ties us right into the question from our lovely people in the chat. Who is writing? Who are the writers of The Hunt for Gollum? And the
They're
answer
the
is
same
Anonymous
writers of
Girl.
Lord of the Rings.
It's the same writers of the War of the Rohirrim.
And the
which would
writers
be-
of The Hobbit.
Yeah, that would be a process of 3 or 4 colluding writers. That would be Philippa Boyens and her daughter Phoebe Gittins, and their co-writer Artie Papagiorgio, and they created the War of the Rohirrim. So that's who is writing the screenplay for The Hunt for Gollum. So yeah,
You know what?
dial that in.
Let me make another comparison, folks.
Yes. Okay.
I think what you're saying is
Oh,
Hunt for
look at
Gollum
that.
needs to feel like Andor.
Yeah,
Remember this?
it needs-
Save Our Silk. Remember
Yeah, gosh,
the
that was so
serious
cool. Yeah.
tone of Andor season 2, which only came out this
Absolutely.
year. It's incredible to think that Andor season 2 only came out in April. It feels like a lifetime ago. Andor season 2 is currently the high watermark of fantasy and sci-fi storytelling.
Quite true.
And if Lord of the Rings wants to recapture the magic at in the marketplace, they need to be as serious as Andor, right? This magazine that we got at a promo event, this newsprint magazine, it's themed like a newspaper from the planet where
is
the
that
action
cool.
takes place.
That's incredibly cool. It's one of the coolest things ever.
It's
I want to see
one-
that up close and personal sometime.
It's
You'll
one
have
of
to
the
bring
coolest things ever.
Please bring it to Scum and Villainy because I would really like to
There's
see that.
K2SO's drawing.
Yeah.
But listen, and Andor is the tone that Hunt for Gollum needs to hit. Is that correct?
Agreed. Yep. Yeah,
Not
I actually
what this trailer is, not what Venom 2 was.
Mhm.
If
Yep.
if these movies, listen, we're in a world now where Andor exists, and that's the
Yeah.
high watermark that you have to beat.
That is the correct phrase.
Lord of
Yes.
the Rings beat Star Wars last time when the
Mhm.
prequels were coming out the same year. Two Towers and Attack of the Clones came out in the same year, and guess which one is better? Right?
Mhm. Indeed.
We're up against it again. Star Wars is the high watermark of fantasy storytelling, and we need Lord of the Rings to get back in the game. And
Last one is correct that Rings of Power also needs to bring themselves up to Andor level of excellence. To our friend Dodgings 5077, I keep hearing how good Andor is. I really need to try it again. Only saw a couple of episodes in season 1. People really seem to love this show. Well, my friend Dodgings, after you see it yourself, you will know why. You will definitely understand in the marrow of your bones. You will know why we admire and literally laud the show to the heights. From the top of the mountains, people are still shouting about how great that show was, and it deserves that praise. So
that's
yeah,
right. And
indeed.
and this is why Animal Farm makes us so nervous, because if Andy did that to George Orwell,
Oh no, stop! Don't even, dude.
do not.
Don't
We
even.
cannot let this happen to
Yeah.
Tolkien.
No,
Like I'm
well,
serious. I'm serious though. George Orwell's
there's
Animal Farm is a dystopian, freaking dark
it's a
narrative.
very dark nightmare. It's a dark nightmare of very bad things that happen, and it's
It's not
allegorical.
fart
It's
jokes.
very it's specifically allegorical, and that's the purpose of it all. However, there might be some wisdom in trying to take a more lighthearted approach so that you could make it appealing. If you make Animal Farm, which is dark, difficult stuff, and if you make it more appealing to the little ones, then maybe let's give Andy the benefit of the doubt that that might be one of the better ways for the younger children to absorb the story and really sit down with it and understand what's going on, is that they find humor and the slapstick, and they find the jokes appealing. But if the child is brought into the movie and really is there for it, and if Andy Serkis succeeds, maybe that will be a feather in his hat that he has made a lighter touch more effective in bringing in a younger audience so they can really understand the horror of what is being told in the story of Animal Farm. So let's wait and see. We'll wait and see about that.
We'll wait and see. All right. Andy
Yes.
Serkis isn't the only one that's been active again. Andy Serkis was in the Game of the Year, Expedition 33. But Cliff,
Mhm.
we finally got a worldwide release for Billy and Dom Eat the World. That's right. You can watch Billy and Dom Eat the
Yay.
World with some wonderful episodes with Ian McKellen and other friends.
Oh,
It's
good
just a
stuff.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful show. Billy and Dom Eat the World is available here in the US on Prime. But it's available on many different streaming platforms around the world. They did get global distribution, and we love
How
that Billy
cool.
and Dom have their own show. But they're not the only ones that are kind of getting work just for being themselves. I mean, Billy and Dom Eat the World is about Billy and Dom, right? Not a character.
Yes.
Well, the funny
No.
thing is, Elijah Wood was in I Love LA playing himself. Yes, Elijah
How
Wood
funny.
was playing himself. So, but not to be outdone, Sean Astin was playing himself in the new movie, the new show, Ha Ha, You Clowns. So we have all four
That's so
Hobbit
funny.
actors playing themselves on TV, not playing characters, not playing hobbits, playing themselves on TV. They're that level of famous now.
That's
Cliff.
too funny.
It-
Isn't that great?
It's pretty. It's kind of like next level when you're being asked to show up on all these shows as yourself, not as a character, but as yourself.
Indeed. It's kind of great, isn't it? Well done to all of them. And I can see the charm of Billy and Dom Eat the World because they're just acting like Merry and Pippin. They're just being themselves. And that has its own magnetic appeal. Everyone loved the Merry and Pippin energy that they had, and they were just being themselves. And it was great casting. So I would love to see them eating cuisine from all around the world. I can't wait to check this out, really.
Yeah.
I'm,
And
I'm,
by the
I'm
way,
afraid I'm a bit behind.
people in the chat room are commenting on Haha You Clowns animation. Yes, it's a very unique animation style. It's not for everybody, but the reason Haha You Clowns is popular is because the writing on it is so sincere. There's you know, you're almost waiting for like the punchline of the joke, but there is no punchline. It's just a sincere show about a dad raising his 3 sons. And it's all drawn like that. They lean into the designs of the animation. It's just a fascinating little show, and it's a wholesome. I'm gonna say it. Haha You Clowns is wholesome, and it's available on HBO Max. But Cliff, what was the
Yeah.
biggest news of all the year with all Lord of the Rings actors?
Gosh, there's been so much, but let's lean into this moment. That was when the Screen Actors Guild, the Actors Union, combined with AFTRA, they had their elections and they elected our boy Samwise the Brave to be the new president of the Actors Union. Amazing. So
Cliff,
good.
his
And
parents
congratulations,
weren't his parents
Sean Astin.
president of the SAG at some point.
Yes, Patty Duke. His mom was the previous president of the union. Yes, it's true.
Sean Astin is finally president
news.
of SAG, and he is the president of SAG at a very important time. AI is coming for us all, and especially
Yes.
actors. And Sean Astin is leading the charge on how to navigate a world with AI.
Do you know what I'm doing now with my YouTube algorithm? It's starting to recommend horrible AI slop videos that are completely scripted and have nothing but visual elements created by really bad AI. And I've been training the algorithm, block this channel, block. Because if you don't, your algorithm will be fed instantly into the AI bottomless pit, and you will get nothing but AI videos. If you watch any of them, or even, oh, heaven forbid, you click like and subscribe on any of them. So make sure you don't, folks. Watch out, because you know the theory that the internet is dead theory? You know that theory, don't you? That soon you won't be able to see anything except AI generated junk on the internet
Sean
instead of
seems to be
real
taking
websites and real
a
results.
soft position that
Yes.
we have to live in the world that's being created, and actors will make their claim as they own their rights to their own face, voice, and likeness. And
Indeed.
I'm looking forward to see where this goes under the leadership of Sean Astin. And Cliff, but before we've got a couple more things before we go, but
Yes.
the other big thing of this year was, for the first time ever, Middle Earth Enterprises, the company that owns all of the rights to Lord of the Rings, the company that Peter Jackson reports to when he makes his movies, they make all the toys and merch. They're the company that Tolkien personally signed the contract to, Middle Earth Enterprises. They had their first booth at Comic-Con.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
Remember this, Cliff? And like, look how small all these people look in this Hobbit. I mean, describe what you saw when you went to Comic-Con.
Well, you go around the corner and you expect you're going to see the Weta booth. Oh, this is the place where we usually find our friends from Weta. But it was actually the interior of the Prancing Pony, and it was scaled up to be human size, so that every person walking in there felt like they were small Hobbit size. And it was delightful. It was totally delightful sharing that space with Dark Horse Comics. And right behind us Right behind us was all of our friends from New Zealand because the Weta team was there with Sir Richard Taylor. And we got to have so many wonderful content creators and authors and Tolkien people come to spend time with us at the Prancing Pony. It featured that 1-to-1 size, beautiful sculpture of the original Rankin Bass Bilbo Baggins, and there was a beautiful handmade sign, the Prancing Pony. And wasn't that just designed by our friend at Weta, Daniel Falconer? Yes, it was. We ended up using that design on one of our exclusive t-shirts, the Prancing Pony Club, which is a big wink and a nod to the big pop song by Chapel Rowan, which was super fun. Really fun year doing the Chapel Rowan shirts. Super, super fun stuff. Had a great time. And it was lovely to walk up to that big old counter and be so tiny that you were looking up at one of the big folk. The big folk were behind the counter, and you felt like one of the little folk standing down on the floor. It was really such a great design. Very well done.
It really felt like something, and not and that was well, and Comic-Con wasn't the only place that Middle Earth Enterprises created an experience. They did a huge new LARP in Kentucky.
That was
this
huge.
looks amazing, Cliff. Like they had open bonfires, open pit bonfires. Kelly Rice was brought out there. Happy Hobbit was brought out there. So was our own
yes.
Mad Eye Gamgee and his wonderful wife. People slept in tents, and for 5 full days, never
yes.
broke character. Let's see if we can fast forward a bit.
Out in the beautiful green forested hills of Kentucky. How lovely.
But look at all the like hundreds of white tents there, just out.
Isn't that lovely?
And people
Isn't that great?
decorated some of their tents, and it just like for the first time that an official Lord of the Rings LARP event, which required cosplay. You cannot just show up in jeans and a t-shirt.
You were in Hobbit cosplay. You were immersed in the world, and the immersion was daily. The way you would talk, the way you would trade and barter vegetables and fruits with people. It was totally immersive. What a cool concept to have done that.
It looked like so much fun.
Yeah,
and
I had FOMO, real FOMO for real.
Over 1,000 people showed up for this. I mean, just look at some of this footage here. Like they were hanging banners from trees. Like everybody's in cosplay. You could not. You felt all out of place if you weren't feeling and looking like a hobbit. Everybody had their own fake name, their own hobbit name, and you went by that the entire time. The Brandywine Festival was just incredible. There's Golf and Bowl.
How fun.
Just amazing. I mean, look how many people are there, and they were there for the whole weekend, sleeping in tents, decorating, trading amongst each other. Look how many vests are there. Like all the guys have vests on, and it just like, and this was just the first year. Last one in the chat room calling it out. Yeah, it's gonna get better and better because this was just the first year. You can imagine the stress of putting on this event for your first year in the middle of this tariff trade war, whatever you want to call it. Like, like, oh man, look at this evening procession with all these lanterns.
That's the coolest. That is the coolest. Someone in the chat asked, what if you wanted to use a cell phone? Well, I think you would go outside of the area and go just outside the perimeter of the area where you'd be allowed to use your muggle devices.
You had to go outside the area. You cannot be in universe and use your cell phone. That's right.
That's right. No muggle devices.
Yeah, Nerd of the Rings played a dwarf character. He was an NPC, a non-playing character.
Yes. He and his son had a great time.
Quests. Like you go up
how
and
fun.
So Judah wants to go next year as a musical performer. You can, you will. I believe tickets are on sale now or will be shortly to the general public. But again, this is the first year that Middle Earth Enterprises has stepped up on their own, going to Comic-Con, sending us these wonderful little gifts, and doing the Brandywine Festival. I mean,
Oh,
Cliff,
yes.
what do you think this means for the future of Middle Earth? I mean, is it more than just movies and TV shows?
Always, always. The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. To quote Tim Buck 3, one of our favorite bands from the late 80s, early 90s, the future's so bright for Tolkien fandom. There's so many, many things yet to come, including the announcement that there will be another Westmoot. We should also mention that in 2025, the Tolkien Society had its first ever United States-based Tolkien gathering for scholars and linguists and professors and people who are deeply fascinated by Tolkien's legends and his academic work. And they had a wonderful inaugural of Westmoot here in the United States. So there's going to be another one next year too. That represents a first. So those people who don't want to go or cannot travel all the way to England for the regular Oxenmoot that they have in Oxford, you know, they're going to have a new one here next summer, and they have yet to announce the location. You know what else we
Or
should
no, they
mention
did. I
before?
think it's Chicago or Minnesota or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Minneapolis.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
did they mention the city? I haven't.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
hear which was mentioned
they,
yet.
they will be in Minneapolis, which is a little easier to get to than Kansas City or wherever they did it this
Yeah,
year.
they were in Kansas City at the World War I Museum
That's
because
right.
of course, Professor Tolkien being a veteran of the First World War. Hey, guess what else we should mention while I'm thinking about it? Happy birthday to Boba Fett. Happy birthday to Mora Morrison, one of our favorite Kiwi actors. He's an outstanding actor, and I've always missed him in Middle Earth. I always wondered that Tamora Morrison might actually show up in The Hobbit or in any...
Oh, he'd be
But
great new addition to The Hunt for Golan. The
sure
Tamura
would.
Morrison, who was in Aquaman movies,
Yep.
and of course Book of Boba Fett,
Yep,
where
he's
he had
Boba
his
Fett.
mask off most of
Yeah.
the show.
And he got there was a whole lot of like Paul Atreides Dune stuff going on in the Book of Boba Fett. I kind of liked that stuff. It
The
was
chat
fun.
room is saying there's
But-
less than 375 tickets left for the Brandywine Festival 2026. So
Oh, boy.
the link is in the chat.
Oh,
Go
boy.
get it. You guys should go. It's worth every penny, right?
That's
and
excellent.
Listen, a hobbit's life is hard. Okay, this isn't. There aren't hotels with air conditioning in Hobbiton, and neither is there here at the Brandywine Festival. But
Yes.
people come and bring their own and have a great time with it. Cliff,
Indeed
we've
they
only
do.
got a few minutes left, but you know, we can't do a year in review without paying tribute to some of the most important people that
we
we
lost?
lost from
Yes.
from Lord of the Rings this year.
Before we start with that, answering Brago Tamer in the chat, hello there, it's good to have you. The Westmoot is the American version of the Tolkien Society having an Oxenmoot. It is an academic conference where they present papers and lectures and talk about academic stuff that Tolkien did and all of his accomplishments creating languages and his studies in Old English and Middle English. So the American version is not called Oxenmoot, but it is an Oxenmoot. It's called Westmoot because we're here to the west of Oxford. So there you go. Are we going to do a safe farewell? You know, like when they do at the Oscars, they call it the graveyard reel, and they show the faces and the title card of all the people who died this year. Are we going to do a graveyard reel?
Well, I don't have a reel, but I just wanted to, we
Okay.
just need to mention that Costa
We
Botas
should. We should
passed
mention.
in November.
Yes,
He is
yes.
so important to the history and legacy of Lord of the Rings. I would say he's probably just as important as Richard Taylor, Peter Jackson, Philippa and Fran, and everybody involved. Like, he is on the top echelon
Indeed.
of people that made Lord of the Rings the success it is. And I'm talking about the appendices, okay? Everybody that watches this show and watches Lord of the Rings, I know y'all have watched the appendices, those epic 20-hour making of documentaries on all of the extended edition DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks. And Costa Botes was the one with the small mini DV camera on set
Yes.
in 1998, filming Peter and his jolly crew of misfits as they embarked on Lord of the Rings. He shot almost all the on-set footage, all the footage of the caterers, the armorers, the chainmail people sitting there at the table for weeks on end making chainmail, all the costume designers, all of that behind the scenes footage that really made us fall in love with the caliber of creativity is
Yes, he was
thanks to
amazing.
this man and this man alone.
Absolutely.
And it
Quite
was
right.
Michael Pellerin, who gets credit as the director of the appendices and producer. He was brought on later to actually complete the project and do all the celebrity interviews and stuff like that. But the person that was there on day one and got all that footage on set was this man, Costa Botes.
What a loss. What a genuine loss to the filmmaking industry in New Zealand. What a loss.
And Cliff, didn't Pellerin text you?
Yeah, he did. He was really very, very sad. It's just so sad. But yeah, he was the guy who made Forgotten Silver with Peter Jackson, which fooled the world. Everyone thought it was real. It really fooled everybody. He was really quite talented filmmaker. And his approach to doing fly on the wall type of coverage was so completely different than what Mr. Pellerin was doing with his team. And I got pulled into that, actually. I was asked by Michael Pellerin at least a couple of times to come in and be a consultant and work with his team on some of the stuff they did for the appendices for the Two Towers and specifically the Return of the King when I worked with them. But you would get a completely different sense of things working for Costa Botes. His approach was completely different and much more what you'd say was organic. It was a really, really wonderful man. And, you know, I send my love and condolences yet again to his family, to his surviving family.
And she's still with us today, but in related cancer news, I think she's posted a video about this on her YouTube channel. But we do have to shout out Kelly Rice, Happy Hobbit, who went through a cancer scare this year and has been fighting cancer all year long. Right now, she's in full remission. She got the all clear in late October. But it's been a heavy year for Kelly Rice, and we send our best, and we look forward to seeing her at Comic-Con this year, and hopefully the Brandywine Festival. And of course, Cliff, it broke our hearts when Viggo Mortensen on his Percival Press website announced that Jose Luis Perez, who was instrumental in Lord of the Rings. These are photos that Viggo personally took of Jose Perez. And of course, he posted, Viggo wrote on his webpage, "Thank you, Jose, for your art, your laughter, and the love that you always tried to share with all the people who crossed your path, and for your unconditional friendship. A kiss and a big hug, my brother, Viggo." He was
yes, indeed,
Aragorn's makeup artist. And I mean, Cliff, the work speaks for itself.
It certainly does.
I mean, how do you make a Danish Argentinian actor look
like an 86-year-old Numenorian? Make him look like an 86-year-old Numenorian. How does one do that? Because it's never been done before in live action. Well, he really figured it out, didn't he?
He
He
really
really
figured
did.
it out.
Yes.
And
Mm.
so yeah, I mean, basically, you know, most many of the department heads and key people responsible for the creative uh vision, executing on the creative vision of Peter Jackson, have passed. You know, Andrew Lesney, the cinematographer, all of
Mm-hmm.
the second unit directors and cinematographers, you know, that did all those wonderful helicopter shots all around the landscape of New Zealand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, the dialect coach, Andrew Jack, we
Andrew
lost to
Jack.
COVID. And, you know,
Yes.
it's just every year we lose more and more of this creative talent from Lord of the Rings. And listen, it just brings us back to our top story tonight, which is, you know, new Lord of the Rings movies. Maybe it's time for a new generation of actors and
Mm.
creators and talent to have their shot, you know, because
Indeed.
a lot of those very successful people that won Oscars for all this stuff aren't with us anymore.
Indeed. It's true. But it's
So,
also it's a reminder to capture the magic when you can, and remember that tomorrow is not promised to anyone, and to pursue your artistic endeavor, to pursue your artistic muse, to actually do the things you want to do with your creative voice, and do it before time is up. It's certainly a reminder to me, don't you think, of that?
and
And we
that's
get
all
this
we
way at
can
the end of
do,
the
you
year.
know? It's the
Yeah.
end of the year. It's been a rough year for everyone
Yes. Yes, it
for
has.
many reasons,
Indeed.
existentially and personally. But
Mm-hmm.
I tell
Yes.
you, the next year, 2026,
Mm-hmm.
I just see things turning. You know, we're going to get Hunt for Golem's going to go into production. Rings of
Mm-hmm.
Power season 3 uh potentially will be out by the end of next year. We hope.
Yes. Yes.
And, you know, I do think that, you know, there's many more Lord of the Rings announcements that are going to come out, just like the Brandywine Festival and the Comic-Con experience. I mean, what else are they
Mm-hmm.
cooking over there? Because I want to be in Middle Earth, and it doesn't require a screen. Being in Middle Earth does not require a screen,
No. It
and it
requires
doesn't
the book in
require.
front of you. That's
Yep,
all. It requires the
that's it.
book in front of you and your own imagination, if nothing else. Right?
Well, I want to thank everybody that watches the show. I want to
Me
thank
too.
all we do this show every week because you guys show up here and we love talking to you and with you. We loved seeing all of the text messages last week, winning all those
Yeah.
tickets to Fathom Events extended
Yep.
edition theatrical screenings, which are in 3 weeks' time. So make sure to go to Fathom Events and get your Lord of the Rings tickets. They're showing the whole trilogy, one movie every night. But it's been a great year. We keep doing this because of you guys. The OneRing.net is an all-volunteer website. There's no ads on our website. We're not bankrolled by any of the studios either. In fact, they yell at us more than they want to give us money. And you know, we every post you see on social media, every moderator action and every comment in our Discord and the message boards are still as popular as ever. Um,
Certainly.
they're
Yes.
all made by people. We don't have bots, you know, managing our forums or anything. Everything's
Hmm.
still managed by people, and
Thank
you
God for
know,
simple truths, huh? Yeah. That's
so
how I
that
feel about that.
so we you know, we're not a faceless, nameless, you know, corporate entity here. You know, the OneRing.net, we're all just
Mm-hmm.
people. We're all volunteers at some point that just raised their hand and said, "Hey, I have some free time. I'd like to help." And you know, if you guys at home, you know, if you know, want to join our Discord or just want to raise our hand, you know, our
Mm-hmm.
email address is on the front page of the website, and you just raise your hand and say, "Hey, I'd like to help." You know, maybe you can help at Comic-Con. Maybe you can help cover a Lord of the Rings event in Europe. Maybe you want to be a moderator or help a little bit here. Maybe you want to help post notes. Maybe you can create artwork. Maybe you know how to draw a little better than me and Cliff. I'd love to stop using AI for some of my articles. I know you guys yell at me every time for using an AI image on our article, but that's because
Yep, we do.
it's just us. It's just people with not a lot of time and nobody's getting paid because we just love this community and we do this show every year, every week for the same reason that Vigo says this about his coworkers 25 years later. And it's the same reason that Vigo and Elijah and Orlando, Billy and Dom and Sean, they all get together all the time because this thing is bigger than all of us.
And it has made family. It has created family amongst the cast members. Just as much I feel that it has created family with you and me, Justin, because we've known one another as better than close friends and coworkers. We've been family for so long. And the people who join us here, they come to us faithfully, live, to make this organic show happen. And it's off the cuffs, it's off the rails, but it's live. And it's real because it's our family, our gathering of hobbitses and elves and dwarves and our men of old. They're all here with us. All of you creative people, you showed up in Kentucky to be there to LARP in the beautiful forest and the hills. And now you're here with us every week to talk and make jokes and debate and to get excited and to express disappointment and to do all these things that we do as a family would do. And I'm grateful for that. It feels like Thanksgiving, but it's really that wistful time of the end of the year when you look back and take stock of all the things that you've had with you and all the things around you that make you whole, that make you complete, things that make us a real community of people that support one another. And so I acknowledge you all as well for helping us do this wonderful stuff at the end of 2025. And thank you for being our faithful audience and coming here every week, every bloody week, rain or shine, whether I'm here or not, to actually enjoy the show. And we are the fans of J.R.R. Tolkien, and that's what we do at the OneRing.net. We put all this out there so that we can, energize the community and feel the magic that makes us all Ringer fans. It's who we are.
And probably the most impactful news story from Lord of the Rings this year, that just sums up everything about this, was that Christopher Lee was rewatching Lord of the Rings on the night he died.
Yeah. How about that? He was so proud of it. That was so wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. And Brego Tamer in the chat says, I love that I've spent every Tuesday with you all this year, last year, and in the coming years. That's wonderful. You guys are so amazing. Just love you guys so much. It's fantastic. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of 2025. Before we do say goodnight, we remind all of you everywhere around the world that Professor Tolkien's birthday is only a few days away. And on that date, January 3rd, there's a thing that happens that everybody can participate in, whether you're in the pub with your friends in Wales, or if you're at the restaurant here down on Highland Avenue at the corner of Highland and Melrose. And that's where we will be, at the Cat and Fiddle pub. We'll be there with our friends having shepherd's pie and maybe a Guinness. And at that time, on January 3rd, wherever you are, at a picnic out in the open fields, or if you're on a plane running across the world to go somewhere, look at your clock, look at your watch at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. in your local time zone is when we raise our glass and we say, to the professor. So be sure to do that this coming January 3rd. It is Professor Tolkien's birthday toast. And that's coming up. So if you happen to be here in Southern California, if you're a member of the new So Caliquendi Smile or Smeal of the Tolkien group, join us. We will be at the Cat and Fiddle on Highland Avenue here in Los Angeles on the 3rd, January 3rd, and we're going to have a wonderful time. So come and join us, and there'll be a lot of good-natured people there, just like you folks here in the chat. Very good-natured and creative people. And so we now say, Happy New Year, everyone, and good night. It's time to bring this year to a close. Thank you, Justin. I need to address you. And I just want to acknowledge you real quick. My buddy, my friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your guy, friend. I knew you were going to do that. All South Park jokes aside, Justin, without you, I'm nothing. And I owe you so much. So thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, Justin. And thank you for all the wonderful things you do and pulling all the magic out of your hat, even though you're not wearing your hat tonight. So thank you, sir. And thanks to all of you. You guys are the best. Hopefully, we'll see you bright and early in the new year after the Tolkien birthday toast. Come back and join us next Tuesday. We will be here for another episode of the OneRing.net Torn Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And we will have all the Green Dragon gossip and all the mischief that we can possibly manage. It'll be really fun. And I wish you guys a very safe, did you hear that? Look out for one another, be careful, and be safe on New Year's Eve. Have a great time at the party or wherever you might be watching the ball drop on Times Square. And you want to follow us, we are at theonering.net on our main website. We're at theonering.net without the dot. And that's on all social media channels. Me, I'm on Instagram and Blue Sky as QuickBeam2000. I'd love to chat with you guys there, have some fun memes, have a little roll around in the hay. It'll be fun. Oh no, I did a Young Frankenstein joke. Roll, roll, roll in the hay. Anyway, I love Terry Garr. I miss her. You're amazing, everybody. We love you. And as as I like to say at the end of every program, good night and good luck. Or, better yet, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye-bye, everybody. Lots of love and Happy New Year.